The 4 undrafted free agents, Jerome Carvin to the Chiefs. I'll just go ahead and say it. That is an incredible fit. You are a solid offensive lineman. You go to the Super Bowl champion. You go to an incredibly run franchise. Congratulations, Jerome Carvin. You're better off going there than getting drafted in the 7th round to a team like, I don't know, the Lions.
Yes, and you're reunited with Trey Smith, which is huge. And don't think this for a second, by the way. I know this because I've seen patterns. Don't think that NFL franchises fall in love with players from schools where they have found steals from that specific school. So, the franchises do that all the time. Look at the Saints. They got a steal with Alvin Kamara, and they have consistently gone after undervalued Vols ever since then, despite 3 new head coaches since that time. Franchises do that all the time. The Bills used to do it with Tennessee, like religiously. And I think you're going to see that with the Chiefs because Trey Smith worked out so well for them.
Well, and I'm having a Monday moment. So, and then there was continually Eagles. The Eagles have drafted Georgia players. That's not a bad move either. So they found a little thread there. That's why you want these guys to go ahead and have great success, because they'll continue to be valued maybe a little bit higher. Future guys inflated just a little bit more. And I think that was the case at times with Tennessee in the 90s. Guys went a little higher than they would have because they were at Tennessee. You're seeing that now with, I believe, the Georgia Bulldogs headed on to the Eagles. All right, LaTrell Bumphus to the Giants. I'm not going to pretend to know they're too deep on the front of their defensive line, but I think LaTrell Bumphus can be 3-4 year player in the NFL. I don't know his upside necessarily. I don't know that it's incredibly high. You thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is going to be solely about LaTrell Bumphus and how much he can develop. It's I'm not going to pretend to know much about the Giants' defensive line depth either. I do know that the Giants are probably not the most well-run franchise right now in the NFL. And there is a legitimate argument that can be made that maybe for the first time ever, the Jets are the best-run NFL team in New York. Dare I say?
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Paxton Brooks, punter, Tennessee, goes to the Colts. Good news is he'll have a chance to punt a lot.
Well played. Well played. He's got some competition. I think Rigoberto Sanchez is the starting punter right now for the Colts, if I'm not mistaken. But he's had some health issues in the past, cancerous health issues. So we wish him the best, obviously.
Yes.
But yes, I think Paxton Brooks it's not a bad situation. I don't know if the best one, though.
By the way, Jim Irsay is absolutely nuts, by the way. Yeah, he is. Travis, I'll tell you a story. Jim Irsay, when they drafted Peyton Manning, did a media tour through Tennessee, and this is in 1998, to drum up interest in Tennessee fans for the Colts. And the host that was regularly the host, I was just a young man out of Tennessee, my first year in the media. And he said, "Hey, Jim Irsay is going to come by. Can you interview him?" And I was nervous, Caleb, to interview a guy of that ilk right out of college. Fortunately, he showed up loaded. I mean, 10 a.m. interview, and the guy was clearly intoxicated. Oh, I don't know on what, but he had his issues later. I hope everything's fine. But yes, he is.
His father had an alcohol problem too, didn't he, Bob?
Really bad. Yeah. Called out some people, but I think it's painkillers with the younger one. But anyway, we hope he gets that worked out. And then one of the best free agent pickups in Tennessee football history, Princeton Fant of the Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you why with a little bit of Cowboys insight. They wanted a tight end in the first round to be able to stretch the field. They have Jeff Schultz, who is a tight end who cannot stretch the field, but is a pretty good pass catcher underneath. So Princeton Fant shows up and he says, "Hey, I can block, I can catch. Which do you want me to do?" And then Schultz can do the other. Okay, so which Fant can show up and either spell Schultz. So Fant's going to make the team. I will go ahead and tell you, Fant's going to make the team. Schultz can either be the blocker or he can be the pass receiver whichever Princeton Fant is not as good as when he shows up. That is a monstrously good fit. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, I actually agree. And I also think that this is one of those moves that if the Cowboys thought he was going to get drafted, they would have drafted him. The only reason he's undrafted is because they knew nobody else was going to draft it. They felt pretty safe signing him as an undrafted free agent. But I'm pretty sure they would have used a 6th or 7th round pick if they felt they had to get him. And the Cowboys have a pretty, again, history with programs. Cowboys have a pretty good history with overlooked tight ends.
There's some guy. Seemed like his name was Kitten, Mitten, Smitten. Oh, Jason Witten. Maybe that was the guy.